Floyd Shivambu's confirmation that advocate and seasoned political figure Dali Mpofu is working tirelessly to build support for the Umkhonto weSizwe party in the Eastern Cape has set the stage for what could become one of the most fascinating and high-stakes political shifts in South Africa's modern political history. This announcement alone has drawn widespread interest because of what it signals about the future of both the MK party and the African National Congress, especially in provinces historically dominated by the ANC. As the Eastern Cape remains a symbolic and strategic region in South Africa's political landscape, Mpofu's engagement in grassroots mobilization on behalf of the MK party could dramatically alter the political map ahead of the 2026 elections. The sheer weight of this development cannot be understated, as it involves a blend of historical loyalties, new political dynamics, and strategic maneuvering from players who know the inner workings of South Africa's politics at the highest level. To understand how critical Mpofu's move is, it's important to take a step back and consider the historical context. The Eastern Cape has long been regarded as a fortress of the ANC. It is the birthplace of many of South Africa's most celebrated political icons, such as Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, Govan Mbeki, and Steve Biko. These figures not only shaped South Africa's liberation struggle but also laid the foundation of the ANC's deep-rooted support in the province. For decades, the Eastern Cape has voted overwhelmingly for the ANC, due largely to the party's historical role in the anti-apartheid struggle and its long-standing relationships with local traditional leaders, civil society organizations, and community groups. Even when the ANC faced national declines in support, the Eastern Cape remained loyal, often giving the party some of its strongest electoral margins. However, in recent years, cracks have started to appear in the party's once unshakable dominance. Issues such as internal factionalism, governance failures, poor service delivery, and growing dissatisfaction among younger voters have opened up space for new political challenges to emerge. Enter the MK party, founded by former President Jacob Zuma as a breakaway movement aimed at reviving the spirit of radical transformation and challenging what many of its members see as the ANC's drift away from its founding principles. The MK party has positioned itself as a voice for the disillusioned, the marginalized, and those who feel that the ANC has abandoned the revolutionary ideals it once championed. By attracting figures like Floyd Shivambu and now Dali Mpofu, the party is steadily building a formidable coalition of experienced politicians, activists, and organizers who understand both the emotional and strategic levers that move South African voters. Shivambu's praise for Mpofu's efforts in the Eastern Cape is not just about one man's work, it signals a coordinated strategy to chip away at the ANC's strongholds and introduce a credible alternative for voters seeking change but still attached to liberation movement symbolism. Dali Mpofu's involvement adds significant weight to this strategy. Mpofu is not just any political figure. He is a renowned advocate with a long history of involvement in significant political and legal battles in South Africa. His career spans both legal and political arenas, having served as national chairperson of the EFF and later aligning himself with Zuma's political ambitions. His recognition, influence, and legal expertise make him a formidable campaigner. According to sources within the MK party, Mpofu has been deeply engaging with local structures, hosting meetings with traditional leaders, convening dialogues with community organizations, and speaking directly to voters to lay the groundwork for a robust campaign ahead of the local government elections. His ability to navigate both elite political circles and grassroots structures is seen as invaluable in a province where both historical narrative and local leadership matter deeply. The recent Workers' Day program hosted in Nelson Mandela Bay further demonstrates how the MK party is strategically positioning itself to win hearts and minds. By involving community leaders, workers' groups, and grassroots activists, the party is adopting a bottom-up approach to mobilization. This differs sharply from the ANC's often top-down methods, which many critics argue have alienated ordinary citizens. The MK party's emphasis on anti-establishment rhetoric, direct engagement, and addressing local concerns resonates strongly, especially in communities that feel left behind by the current government. Political analysts have already begun to suggest that Mpofu's role, combined with the party's increasing visibility and structured outreach efforts, could make the Eastern Cape a contested battleground in the coming elections, something almost unthinkable a decade ago. The implications of all this stretch far beyond just one province. If the MK party succeeds in making significant inroads in the Eastern Cape, it could set off a domino effect across other ANC strongholds, reshaping South Africa's political landscape entirely. The party's growing list of high-profile members, such as Shivambu and Mpofu, combined with its targeted grassroots strategy, makes it a serious contender. Furthermore, the symbolism of wresting power away from the ANC in the Eastern Cape would send shockwaves throughout the national political arena. It would represent a fundamental shift in voter loyalty and open the door for deeper challenges to the ANC's dominance in both national and provincial elections. Looking forward, much will depend on how effectively Mpofu and the MK party can sustain their momentum, expand their reach, and convince skeptical voters that they are a credible and trustworthy alternative. The political environment is highly fluid, with voter sentiments shifting rapidly as economic conditions worsen and political scandals erode trust in established parties. The MK party's anti-establishment message, coupled with its promise of returning to radical transformation ideals, may find fertile ground among young voters, workers, and rural communities feeling sidelined. As we edge closer to the 2026 elections, the developments in the Eastern Cape, spearheaded by Dali Mpofu under Shivambu's guidance, will be critical to watch. Whether this marks the beginning of a historic realignment or simply a temporary surge in political enthusiasm remains to be seen. Either way, it's clear that the contest is heating up, and South Africa's political landscape is on the verge of significant change. If you found this deep dive into South Africa's shifting political scene insightful, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future updates and analyses. We also want to hear your thoughts. Do you think the MK party can really challenge the ANC in the Eastern Cape? Can figures like Dali Mpofu and Floyd Shivambu change the course of the upcoming elections? Drop your views and debates in the comments below. We're eager to hear from you guys. As the momentum continues to build, insiders within the MK party suggest that Dali Mpofu is not limiting his efforts to just traditional political engagement but is also exploring strategic alliances with influential community-based organizations, former union leaders, and respected grassroots movements that have deep roots in the Eastern Cape. Would you like me to add even more continuation paragraphs to extend it further?